Hi friends, happy Wednesday. So today we are making a really cool craft. It takes a little bit of time, but it's pretty easy and I think it's super cute. It is a cherry pom-pom keychain craft. So this is based on the craft by Leah Griffith on leahgriffith.com. Just head on to Northeast and get a go pack to learn how to make this fun craft and get all the supplies you'll need. So once you got your go pack, why don't you join me in the rest of this video to find out how it's made. So the materials you'll need to make this craft are some pom-pom makers, which will be cutting out of cardstock or cardboard. So you'll need cardstock, cardboard, and some scissors, a small jump ring. There'll be about 3 probably in your bag. I just wanted to add extra in case you lost them, but you only need 1. A key ring for making this into a keychain, a green felt leaf template. So in your bag, there'll be a cardboard, cardstock sort of template, which you'll cut out and trace onto the green felt and cut out to make these leaves. So yeah, cut out the leaf template, trace it on green felt and cut it out, and you'll get this. False suede cord, so this is vegetarian friendly. And finally, some red yarn. I've included 2 balls just to make it easier because you'll be making 2 pom-poms of the yarn. You'll also need hot glue. It might be possible with tacky glue to attach our pom-poms to the end of our cord, but it would probably be difficult, so you'll need either hot glue or super glue. If you are a child doing this, get an adult to help you, please, please, please. Hot glue is not a toy. The heat can make it dangerous. You can burn your fingers, so please do it with an adult or have an adult do it with you. Make sure not to touch the tip of the gun when it's on or anytime, just in case it is still hot. Don't touch the glue when it's hot, and if you're using super glue, also beware not to get it onto any part of your skin. Also, one last note, if you'd like to borrow a hot glue gun from the library, we do have a limited amount available for rent out for 1 week from the desk, so just let us know. Or you can bring in your finished pom-pom and keychain, and I, Miss A behind the camera, am happy to just hot glue the pom-poms on for you. So just let me know anytime the library is open. So let's get started. First, we're going to make our pom-poms. So we will just need our paper, our balls of yarn, and our scissors. So our first step is to cut out 2 identical donut shapes. So the bigger the donut shape, the bigger your pom-pom will be, but just remember, if you're using stuff from the kit, it is limited to how much yarn you have. So don't make too big of a pom-pom circle. This is actually bigger than I would like, but it's just easier since I already have it cut out. But the perfect way to make this, I think, is to find 2 cups, little canisters, little jars, anything that you can trace to make a circle. Trace 1 bigger circle, 1 smaller circle, and then you can either cut that out of the cardstock I'll include in your bag or some sort of cardboard. So let's just cut those 2 identical donut shapes out. And again, by donut, I mean a circle within a circle. Okay, once these 2 donut shapes are cut out, it's time to make our pom-poms. So the first thing you'll do is just stack these one on top of each other to make sort of like a sandwich. So we're going to make 1 pom-pom at a time. So what you'll do to make it is we'll start by putting some yarn through and tying a knot. This is just to make sure it doesn't come off. If you think you can hold it in place, you don't need to tie a knot. I just like to because I think it makes it a little bit easier. All right, so now what you're going to do is just cover this whole thing with yarn by passing the yarn ball through the middle over and over and over again and looping it around the sides of the circle. It's pretty easy peasy, but it will take a while, so be patient. All right, so once this whole thing's wrapped, it looks sort of like a little piece of pineapple. But what we're going to do is find a spot, you can see right here, hopefully. Yeah, we want to find a space between the 2 rings, and we're going to insert our pair of scissors. Let's refocus. So insert your scissors. And you want to hold on to the stitches in the middle as you cut so they sort of hold together. And as we cut between the two donut shapes, we'll also be cutting the yarn in half for our pom-poms. And what I like to do is as I go around, I'll take another piece of string and start threading it through between the two donuts. And this will help hold the pom-pom together, and at the end it'll be what ties it all together. And I will warn you, it can be hard to keep a grip on all of your pieces of yarn, but just try your best. Okay. So then you're going to take the shape and we're going to draw the two pieces of yarn together. You can see what it looks like here. I'll open this up a little bit so you can see. But while it's still in between the donuts, I want you to tie a double knot or have an adult tie a double knot for you. Tie it nice and tight. Okay, once that knot is tied, we're going to pull off our rings. And you'll see a mostly done pom-pom. So what you want to do now is trim it with your scissors so it looks nice and neat in the shape you want. And just make sure to cut a little at a time. You don't want to cut too much by accident. It's pretty easy to do. But I think I gave you plenty of yarn, so if you make a mistake, if you cut it too much, just do it again. Alright, so I think this looks pretty cute. And once you've made one, you're going to want to make a second one. So I've already made it, so we can go to the assembly part of our keychain making. Okay, so when we have our two little pom-poms, we also want to have our leaf template. So if you haven't already, take that piece of cardstock that has the template drawn on it, cut it out, trace it on your green felt, and cut that out too. You'll also have your piece of suede pre-cut. So what we're going to do is tie it in a simple knot around the leaves right in the center. So make sure you find like the halfway point of your piece of fake suede. So mine's here. Wrap this around and we're going to just tie a simple knot. Try to keep it in the middle. All right, so it's looking like this. Now let me zoom in a little bit if we can. I think that's as far as it goes. But we are going to take our jump ring, which is this little ring here, and we are going to hook it around that knot we made. Oops. We're going to hook it around that knot we made. It's easy to just use your fingernail to open up that ring a little bit. It's adjustable. We'll close the jump ring just by pushing on it. You could have an adult do it if you need. So you can see now that we sort of have our stems, our leaves, a little jump ring, and we're going to use our key ring, put it right on that jump ring. Nice and dangly. Now we just have to add the pom-pom, and we're going to do that with a hot glue gun. And like I said before, if you don't have one, come to Northeast. You can either borrow one or just have Miss A glue it on for you. And make sure kids either have an adult do it or an adult supervise, and just be very, very careful not to touch the nozzle of the hot glue gun or the glue coming out of the gun or anything that is on until you're certain that it's cooled down. So I'm gonna grab my glue gun and glue those on. All right, so once they're glued, they are totally done. I think they look super cute. They're really light, and while the pom-poms take a really long time to make, they turn out super cute. So if you have any trouble with this, you can always ask me at the library. But otherwise, I hope you had fun, and I'll see you next week for another Family Night craft. Bye, friends.